Hey everybody, happy Monday. Uh, welcome. Oh, hey Oliver. Uh, welcome to Facebook Live with Amy Eicher, your chronic pain coach um, of Restoring Venus. So, do me a favor. Once you find me, do me a favor. Say hi in the comments. Let me know where you are joining us from because that's always fun. And today we are going to be talking about self compassion and what the heck it has to do with recovering from chronic pain. Because it doesn't seem like those things should really relate to each other, but they do. I promise you. Huh. Um, if we haven't met yet, hi, my name is Amy Eicher. I am a chronic pain coach and best-selling author, and I experienced chronic back and SI pain for over 20 years, and I am now close to 13 years pain-free. So I take the things that I've learned, try to shorten your journey so that you don't have to struggle as long as I did. I also picked up a bunch of degrees and am self-studied along the way. But the fact that I did have chronic disabling pain for 20 years and now have no pain at all is pretty amazing. So I invite you, follow me, join me. It's good to see you all. So self-compassion. I think the first thing that we need to do is we need to define it. What the heck is it? Like, I feel like that's one of those terms that gets tossed around and we think we know what it means, but like, do we really, right? So do me a favor in the comments, tell me what your definition of self-compassion is. And then I'm going to share with you what I learned as I was trying to refine these thoughts so I could put them in the blog post for you last week. So self-compassion is, we think about compassion towards other people, right? And we know what that is. That's being kind. It's being gentle. It's allowing for difference of opinion. It's avoid. It's not shaming people, right? We're kind towards them. Well, self-compassion is taking all of that and turning it inwards. It's being gentle. It's knowing and being able to express your emotions and needs. That is part of self-compassion. Now, I would like to connect the dots for you on why this is so important for chronic pain and chronic illness. So last week we talked about the idea of suffering, and that suffering comes not from the intensity of the pain that we're feeling, but all of the emotional and relational aspects of suffering or of being in pain, that it's not the pain itself that causes us to suffer, but it's all of the things around it. Well, one of the ways that we can combat that is through self-compassion. Now, I will remind you that in addition to whatever tissue issues we have going on with our chronic pain, there is a whole additional realm to chronic pain that is rarely talked about and almost never treated. And so that is my goal through Restoring Venus, is to give you tools to treat yourself. And if you need help, I am here for coaching. So what does this look like? So we have talked about those other issues being things that create intensity in our nervous system. I've talked about it as things that fill our cup, things that take up space, things that make our nervous system more sensitive, more alert, more aware, because pain is a response to input, right? So if pain is a response to input, it is the tissue plus. And so you're already doing everything you can to address the tissue. Otherwise, you wouldn't be looking at this video. We already know you guys are great at addressing tissue issues. I'm here to help you address the rest. So we need to ditch blame, guilt, and shame, because all of those things are self-critical, self-judgmental, and they increase the sensitivity of our nervous system. They increase our nervous system's vigilance on anything else that may pose a danger. So that is why self-compassion is a treatment for chronic pain. Now remember, I don't believe that there is any such thing as a quick fix. There's no one single magic bullet that's going to cure your chronic pain. I'm sorry, there's just not. And quite honestly, if we had that, somebody would be like twice as rich as Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, right? Because 1 in 5 people suffer from chronic pain. So if we had a solution, the numbers wouldn't be that high. So let me save you the trouble of looking for that and say we've got to do a bunch of little things. This being one of them, self-compassion. So Dr. Kristen Neff has a lot to say about self-compassion. And she is an expert in her field. And she has identified 3 aspects that we all must kind of take into account that combine to create self-compassion. The first is self-kindness. So many of you may have grown up with critical parents, teachers, bosses, and every time you did something wrong, you got blamed, you got yelled at, you were told you were stupid, right? And then those thoughts quietly go off in your head now that you're an adult. I'm going to suggest that's not kindness. I'm going to suggest that that's being self-critical, and that is indeed a single input into your nervous system that you have control over, that you can change, and that's not helping you. Okay? So we're going to learn to be kind to ourselves. We're not stupid. We're not dumb. We're not lazy. We're not broken. We're not fragile. We're not too much. We're not too little. We're just right as we are because we're human. Okay? So self-kindness is learning to treat yourself like you treat your friends. Because I'm going to guess you're a very good friend. Most of the people that find me are. You're incredible friends. You're wonderful at helping other people and helping them see who they are. I need you to turn that around and apply that to yourself. Okay? Second aspect is common humanity. It is amazing to me. Every single client I have coached in the last 3 or 4 years has all said the same thing. Every person that I have met in chronic pain has all said the same thing. Amy, I'm so alone. I'm the only one. You guys, this is not true. I got a Facebook group of 800 people that know they are not alone. You are not alone in your pain. You are not the only one with the type of pain you have. You are not the only one having trouble getting help from your medical providers. You are not the only one that feels completely isolated and completely alone in your pain. I do not say that to be pedantic. I do not say that to be hurtful. I say that because those thoughts lead us to isolation. They keep us from healing things like support groups. Support groups are important in healing from chronic illness and chronic pain. They are important to establishing a meaningful life. You are not alone. You are not the only one. The problem of pain that you have is common. It is way too common. I just said 1 in 5 people experience chronic pain. Nobody's talking about it. Like, raise your hand. I mean, let me know in the comments, but are your friends talking about it? Because I am amazed when I start talking about my long COVID and how I'm dealing with that and how that's affected me, how many people start noticing that they have symptoms too. They didn't know it was okay to talk about. They didn't know it had a name. They didn't know there was help, on and on and on. People in chronic pain are often the same way, especially if you're like over 50, because everybody just tells you, hey, you're getting older and pain is just supposed to happen. Pain is not a result of age. Pain does not have to happen. So I'm going to encourage you to find a support group that is actually supportive, that is encouraging, that is helpful, that is not just everybody lamenting, because we've talked in other places that that's also really not great for our nervous systems if we're constantly around negativity. Okay, so part 1, self-kindness. Part 2, you are not alone. Your pain is part of common humanity. Now, I understand that does not mean that everybody in your family understands it. I am certain that the ableist worldview that the world looks at humans through is affecting you everywhere. And I am terribly sorry for that. And maybe that'll be Facebook Live for another day. But do know 1 in 5 people is experiencing chronic pain. You are not a rare bunny. You are not broken. You are not unfixable. You just haven't met the right medical professionals yet. So let's fix that. Okay, the last part that Dr. Neff talks about is part 3, and that's mindful awareness. If you followed me long, you know that I don't like words for a lot of the things that we have in this field. And the mindful awareness is another one of those things. It really just means being present in the moment. You're not regretting the past. You're not lamenting the future. You're just here at, 3:30 Central Time on Monday after daylight saving time. And there's no judgment to that. It just is. It's where you're at. It's what's happening. It's not good. It's not bad. It's not sad. It's not happy. It is. It just is. And in that ability to simply be present without judgment is where we can ditch all the guilt and the shame that causes us so much suffering, that causes us so much hypervigilance in our nervous system, right? But it's a skill, and it's got to be learned, right? And it's not easy. It's actually quite hard. And I find that fascinating. I found that so fascinating, in fact, that I wrote a journal for people to really help with this. And it's called Uncovering You, and it's available on Amazon. I shot the link in the description of this video so that you could go ahead and get it. It's $4.99 for an e-copy and $9.99 for a hard copy, but it's 52 journaling prompts to help you figure out who you are, what you want, what you need, and what you feel. And believe me, if you can figure those things out, and you're doing the things for your tissue issues, and you're taking care of the medicines that you need, and you're staying on top of your movement and things, once you get those things figured out, your life is going to be so much bigger and so much better, and you're going to have a place to go, right? And then we add in all that self-care, and we add in this compassion that we've been talking about. And these are the things that healthy, happy people have in their lives. It's why they're healthy and happy. And it's some of the things that we need to calm the nervous system or retrain the brain. Those are two things that I hear talked about a lot, right? So, everybody says, Amy, how do we calm our nervous system? Like, how do we retrain our brain? Self-compassion, man. We're going to learn to be gentle with ourselves. We're going to learn to be as kind to ourselves as we are to our friends. So what I would like you to do this week, as you are considering self-compassion, I would like you to remember these 3 things. 1, talk to yourself like you would your best friend, not like the voice in your head, right? Because I know I talk a lot nicer to my friends and my kids than I do myself. 2, if you find yourself sad, give yourself a hug. It's okay to hug yourself. Just wrap your arms around yourself, give yourself a nice big squeeze. It feels good. 3, give yourself permission to say no. The holiday season is upon us. It's coming. It's coming fast. And there's going to be all kinds of volunteer opportunities through your church, through your community, through your kids' schools, through your grandkids' schools. Pick the ones that are meaningful to you and say no to the rest. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself a hug and say no. Those are 3 insanely practical tips on how to have a little bit of compassion for yourself this week. Go grab my journal on Amazon. Ooh, say hi to Tigger. And I will see you next week when we talk about lessons from the Lion King. If you need any support, do me a favor. Let me know in the comments. I will get in touch with you via DM if that's all right with you, which I'm assuming it will be because you just, left a comment asking me to get in touch with you. But in the meantime, be kind to yourself, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.